Shabbat Shalom. I need you guys to help me do a little sound check. We have the new sound system, and I always have to check to make sure it's actually working. Can you hear me? Okay, I love that. This is Shabbat Shuvah. Shabbat Shuvah means the Shabbat of return. And it's the Shabbat in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And it gets its name from the Haftarah, which starts in the book of Hosea, Shuvah, return, O you mortals, return. And of course, it depends on which week we are in, but for our purposes, our Torah portion for tomorrow is Ha'azinu. So if you are so inclined, come to Torah study tomorrow morning, and you can learn more about what that means. But for our purposes, I want to explain that the Shabbat Shuvah service is actually much shorter than a regular Shabbat service. Woohoo! Because usually we have been pretty much prayed out by now. I mean, if you think about it, we started Wednesday night, we did Thursday, now we did Friday morning for second day Rosh Hashanah. Oy. So, in the olden days, our soloist, Cindy Michelasi, used to do Shabbat Shuvah. But since she's retired, it reverted back to me. And I say, okay, bring it. So I get to sing and play and be with you. And so please join me in the singing of Ma Yafeh Hayom as we welcome Shabbat together. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. As I was planning this service and thinking about what is it that I really wanted to do tonight, I thought, I want to sing with you. I want to sing songs that you might already know. You know, we've been bringing a lot of new tunes into services lately, and that's great. New tunes are wonderful, but sometimes it's nice to go back to the golden oldies. I remember in the imitable sounds of the Carpenters, every sha-la-la-la, every woe still shines. And so, let's go ahead and sing together, Ki Eshmera Shabbat. Ki Eshmera Shabbat, El Yishmereni. Ki Eshmera Shabbat, El Yishmereni. Oti leolameyad beino veni. Oti leolameyad beino veni. Ki eshmera Shabbat el yishmereni. Ki eshmera Shabbat el yishmereni. And for some of us, these are not old tunes, they're new tunes because you're new to our congregation. I know who you are because some of you are in my Intro to Judaism class, and I want to call you out. I'm not going to directly call you out, don't worry, but I'm just going to say how thrilled I am that you are all here and you get extra credit in class for being here tonight. So I'm just very happy that you're here. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, we have an Intro to Judaism class. It is not an intro to conversion. It's not for people who want to convert, although some people do. But it really is a wonderful opportunity to learn more about Judaism. It's for people who want a little refresher about what Judaism is all about. This morning, Jamie, I'm going to call you out, I hope you don't mind. My sister said to me, I took Intro to Judaism 2 times, and people said, wow, the sister of the rabbi is taking Intro to Judaism? And she said, yes, because she did not get the same Jewish education that I did as a kid, and so she came back and took Intro to Judaism and slept through the first class, so she had to take it again in order to... I don't know if that part's true. I'm just giving you a hard time. All right. Well, we welcome Shabbat together, and it is my pleasure to invite to the Bima to sanctify our Shabbat candles, Judy Farber.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav vetzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, Judy. Thank you so much. We continue in our Sidurim, in our prayer book, with the singing of Shalom Aleichem, which can be found on page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech, malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruch hu Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And just a little aside, we just sang a song about the ministering angels, about how they bring shalom to all and peace on Shabbat. A lot of times, Reform Judaism forgets to focus on the fact that angels are all over our liturgy, and angels are all over the Torah and even the Talmud. And so when we're going through a difficult time, it's absolutely okay to call upon the ministering angels that are in the ether and ask for a little divine help. Even if you don't believe that there might be angels around, why not call upon one, see what happens. Just test it according to faith. Keep your mind open. You never know. Hey, if Sarah can have a baby at the age of 99, Why not you? Okay, so your eyes all just popped out of your head. I meant, why wouldn't the angels help you to achieve whatever it is that is the prayer of your heart? Maybe not getting pregnant. There you go. All righty. So, now that we all breathe a collective sigh of relief, let's go ahead and continue our service on page 28 with Baruch Hu. Will the congregation please rise? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. We continue with Shema on page 34 and 35. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Please be seated. We continue with V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha vishinantam levanecha vidibarta bam bishivtecha bevetecha uvlechtecha vaderech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha liman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihiot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. We continue with Micha Mocha in our Sidur on page 40. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai Micha Mocha ne'edar ba'kodesh Nora tehilot osei fele Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai Micha Mocha nedar ba'kodesh. In 6 days, God created the earth, created all the animals, all the people. And on the 7th day, God rested. And it reminds us just how important it is that we too take rest, that we take Shabbat as a time of holiness, that we answer the call when the phone rings to, I'm just being funny, yes, that we actually not answer the call when the phone rings, and but we do answer the children when they ring, and that is the sound of our future. So we welcome the squeaks. Please join me in the singing of Vishamru, which can be found in our Sidurim on page 44. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. We come now to our congregational tefillah, and in our tefillah, we have special Shabbat Shuvah insertions, and you don't have to know what those are, just follow me for them, and don't go on autopilot, and I'll show you what they are. So I'm going to ask you now to please rise as we continue on page 46. Adonai sefatai tiftach ugiagi tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufiagi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, L'Ma'an Shemo B'Ahava, Zochreinu L'Chaim, Melech Hafetz B'Chaim, Melech Hafetz B'Chaim, V'Kodvenu B'Sefer, B'Sefer HaChaim, L'Mancha Elohim Chaim, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Meitim Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Meitim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Michamocha harachamim, zocher yitzurav, lechaim berachamim, lechaim berachamim, v'ne'eman ata lahachayot metim. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hametim. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelech hakadosh. Please be seated. We take a moment at this time in our worship service to think of those of our families and community who are ill and in need of healing. And we think this evening of Rabbi Bruce Goldwasser, Rabbi Fred Wenger, Lila Warshawski, Len Schultzman, John Eulenberg, Jerry Reinhardt, Terry Boglin, Freda Unaganst, Peggy McGrath, Scott Stewart, Alan Wolski, Zev Chaim ben Michal Sivan David Eitan, Rosalind Hoffman, and all those who suffer whom we know not by name. We continue with the singing of Misha Berach, and if you care to follow along, you can find the words on page 253. Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Berach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Back in the olden world, where there were many divisions, even in Orthodox Judaism, they had the very pious Orthodox, called the Hasidim, and they had, well, we can call them maybe the less pious. They were known as the Litvaks, and they were no less reverent. They just, well, they used to kind of poke fun at the piety of the Hasidim. And one Friday morning, a particular Litvak decided that he wanted to go and find out what the great rabbi of Neremov would do when he would vanish in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. They would say, where could the rabbi be? And the Hasidim would say, well, the rabbi ascends up to heaven during this time, and that's why you can't find him. But the Litvak, no, he wasn't going to take that as an answer. That's almost as bad as, oh, there's angels around us. You can call on them when you need them. That wasn't going to happen for this guy. And so he decided that after the minyan, he was going to sneak in and stalk the great rabbi. And that's what he did. So he went and he stayed under the rabbi's bed while the rabbi slept. And he followed the rabbi. When the rabbi went and davened his morning prayers, the Litvak kind of stayed in the shadows and watched him. And after the prayers, he went and he exited his house. So the Litvak stays behind him and starts casing. Everywhere that he goes, the Litvak follows. He takes with him his wallet and keys, of course, but also an axe and some rope and some supplies. And off into the forest the rabbi went, with the Litvak not far behind. And he watched as the rabbi cut down a small tree, cut the tree into firewood and kindling, put the axe back into his belt, hoist this now big amount of firewood onto his shoulder, and he went to the poorest shack in the village. And everybody knew about the old woman who lived there because both she and her husband were very ill, and they were unable to care for themselves. And the Litvak watched and waited in the shadows as he watched the rabbi knock on the door. And when the woman cried out, "Who is there?" the rabbi said, "Just an old peasant with some firewood for you." And the woman said, "Well, I can't get out of bed to pay for the firewood. I'm sorry, you'll have to come back." And the rabbi, pretending to be a peasant, said, "That's okay. I'm going to bring the firewood into your house." "But," she said, "I can't pay you. How much is this firewood worth?" And the rabbi said, 6 cents, which back in the day, before inflation, was worth a whole lot. So the rabbi brought in the firewood, took the kindling, took some of the wood, made a fire so that the older woman would be warmed until her husband came home. And she said, "But sir, I can't pay you for this." And the rabbi said, "Don't worry, I will be paid by the heavenly tribunal." And off the rabbi went back to his house. He changed out of his peasant clothes and back into the rabbi clothes. And the Litvak at that moment converted and said, "Truly, the rabbi has ascended to heaven." Because it's through our deeds, especially the deeds that we do between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, whether it's an act of repair, whether we are apologizing, whether we are doing internal work with ourselves, whether we're making tzedakah, or just reaching out to an old friend that we haven't seen for a while, every good deed that we do resonates. And don't believe for an instant that you don't make an impact. If you don't believe me, take a pebble and drop it into a still pond and see the ripples. And that's the impact that you're making that you don't even realize. We continue with our vice president giving us a few announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Rick Schoenfield with some announcements on behalf of the board. First, thanks to our usher Elizabeth and her smaller helpers as well, and our security team, especially our security team, one of whom has been allowed to sit back there now, I guess, Harvey. If you haven't already, please make sure you grab a bag to fill for the High Holiday Food Drive. On Sunday, we will mark the anniversary of the attacks on October 7th with a memorial service at 11 o'clock. Yom Kippur begins this coming Friday evening. The office will be closed on Friday for Erev Yom Kippur, but the general voicemail and the email will be monitored for urgent matters during this time. For more information on our holiday services, learning opportunities, and breakfast, please visit mycec.org/HH. And for more information on upcoming events, please check out our weekly happenings email. Please join us after services for a wonderful oneg, Shabbat Shalom, and Shana Tova.
Shana Shalom, Shana Tova. Thank you. All right, now I need some helpers. So I'm going to ask anybody who has not had a bar bat mitzvah yet, if you would be willing to come with me to the ark and help me open the ark. Would you like to come up too? No? You can come on. Do you want to come up? No? Okay. Yep, come on, you guys. You've had a bar mitzvah, that's right. I was there. Okay. I like that. All right, please come help me. Will you show them how to open the ark, please? I'm going to ask everyone to please rise. We're going to turn to page 282 as I topple over the guitar stand, and we continue with Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, Shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vigoralenu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim, umodim, lifnei melech, malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Go ahead and close the ark. Then you have to give me a big high five. All right. All right. You rock, Scott. Thank you. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad ushemo echad. Please be seated. At this time in our worship service, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth and whose yortzeit we commemorate this Shabbat. We remember with tremendous love Isidore George Albert, father of Gail Kessler, Robert Scott Samuels, son of Stephen Samuels, brother of Michael Samuels, Rose Rubenstein, grandmother of Merle Ehrlich, Mike Prinz, brother of Paul and Stephen Prinz, Helen Gittinson, grandmother of Michael Field, Evelyn Rosenberg, mother of Edward Rosenberg, Anna Karshen, mother of Roberta Berman, Reuben Fain, grandfather of Jackie Fain Klein, Mervyn Goldberg, father of Kathy Goldberg, Hannah Pines, grandmother of Nikki Siegel, Harold Ross, uncle of Carol Nymark, David Sack, father of Eleanor Saliamanis, Michael Peck, father of David Peck, Herbert Schoenfield, father of Rick Schoenfield, Rachel Vinograd, mother of Esther Vinograd, Calvin Weiskopf, father of Jim Weiskopf, Jerry Grossman, father of Michelle Barrett, Sharon Sondheim, mother of Laura Talbot, Frances Leibowitz, grandmother of Orrin Schwartz, Mildred Wasserman, mother of Mark Wasserman, Elizabeth Stevens, grandmother of Shari Katz, Joseph Blitzenstein, father of Deborah Camardo, Murray Peshkin, husband of Francis Peshkin, Tuvia Cherney, uncle of Marcia Sweeten, Dolores Solomon, mother-in-law of Mark Wright, Inga Gruber, grandmother of Bonnie Madison, Rhoda Harrop, mother of Stephen Harrop. We also remember Louis Shostak, Stuart Soref, Leah Kaplan, and we mourn the recent passing of Beverly Bev Paula Jacobson, sister-in-law of Beryl Jacobson, and Myrna Shapiro, mother of Lisa Schwartz. We continue with Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found in our prayer book on page 294. Will the congregation please rise? Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach chirutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agalal uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam leomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudasha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all among us who are bereaved and comfort those who still carry tremendous grief and pain as we say together, Amen. Our concluding song this evening, please be seated, Esa Einai, can be found on page 339. And I ask you to please join me if you care to do so. Esa Einai el heharim me'ayin me'ayin ya Asa Einai El Harim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri, Me'im Adonai, Osei Shamayim Ve'aretz, Ezri, Me'im Adonai, Osei Shamayim Ve'aretz, Esa Einai El Harim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri, Esa Einai El Harim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Let us never forget how much impact we can make, what a difference we can make, and during this holy time of Shuvah, may we return to our origins, return to who we truly are, and never forget that we can always turn to the heavenly tribunal, the angels, God, whatever you want to call it, but we have never strayed so far that we can't come home. Shabbat Shalom. So now we get to do Kiddush and Motzi together, and so I'm going to invite everyone who cares to do so to please join me in singing Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lemahase v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat mitzrayim, ki vanu vacharta v'otanu kidashta mikol hamim. V'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. And we have a challah. I have to find it. There's a lot back here. You know, I don't keep an open cup of juice. I don't know if I could get away with having a juice box back there and doing kiddush over that. But that's really what I like. My speed, a little sippy cup that can't. That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna. We might need to reconsider a kiddush juice box. Just saying. Yeah, there you go. Well, that would have to be, a big, with a straw. Okay, anyway, let's just make motzi. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shana tova. Let's go have cookies.